Michelle Prince, founder and CEO of Performance Publishing Group, making a difference one story at a time. We'll be shining the light on successful founders, entrepreneurs, business owners, and leaders that are getting results and making a difference. We'll talk about how they built their businesses, are creating movements, and leveraging the power of authority in their own lives. Be sure to stick around to the end of the show, and we'll reveal how you can be our next guest. Let's get started. Hey everybody, this is Michelle Prince with the Power of Authority Spotlight, where we shine the light on incredible entrepreneurs, leaders, business owners, people that are making a difference. They're shining their lights and they're leveraging the authority that they have in their business and personal life in greater ways. And the guest we have today is someone that I am incredibly grateful to have met many years ago. In just a minute, I'll give you more of his background, but he is just such one of my favorite people, truly. But first, this episode is brought to you by Performance Publishing Group. Performance Publishing Group provides top quality, comprehensive book publishing services for soon-to-be authors. The Performance Publishing team has helped thousands of people realize their dream of becoming an author. Are you going to be next? I know that my guest here today believes in the power of a book, so I think we'll be talking about that. But as a partner publisher, Performance Publishing Group can offer you more than just expert guidance. They want to make sure you get the book of your dreams and you reap the rewards. For more information, go to performancepublishinggroup.com. Well, let me tell you about my friend, Jackie Lisson. He grew up on a small farm in Jones, Oklahoma. He was a full-time entrepreneur for 11 years selling real estate, which allowed him to experience the downfall of the Oklahoma economy in the 1980s. His background in real estate sales led to him being hired by McClain County National Bank in June of 1992 to market their repossessed property. He was eventually promoted to vice president with an emphasis on ag lending, which led to becoming a manager and senior vice president of a branch the bank built for him in Noble, Oklahoma. In January of 2020, after nearly 28-year banking career, he closed that chapter and officially refired, love that, back into the world of entrepreneurship. Jackie is now coaching and mentoring others as a certified Ziglar Legacy Coach and speaker, focusing again on real estate, serves on McClain's Bank's board of directors, and is a published author. He lives on a ranch in Noble with his beautiful wife, Paula. They have 2 children, 1 son-in-law and 1 grandson. Jackie is enjoying his new role as Chief Encouragement Officer and is passionate about helping people step into their purpose. You can reach him at jdlisson.com. Hey, Jackie, welcome to the show.
Hello, Michelle. Thank you. Glad to be here.
Oh, we've known each other for, it seems a lot longer than it's actually been, a couple of years. But we initially met through Ziglar. Talk a little bit about your background and what you're doing with Ziglar.
Yes, as you read there in my bio, Michelle, guy was calling me out of banking and started working on my heart in 2018. And one morning in September of 2018, I was in my home office, struggling with this because I was content, happy. They built a bank for me, love my staff, love my customers, and making an impact in my community, which community banks are so important all across the country. And it's a family-owned bank. And so I was struggling one morning and got us the shoes, it's me. And I looked up on my wall here in my home office, and Margie Keeley, that took my place at the bank, had given me this poster, like a picture with cowboys on it. I'm a farm boy and I'm a cowboy, so I kind of like cowboy stuff. And there was a scripture, Proverbs 3, 5, and 6. Trust the Lord with all thine heart, lean not unto thine own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct your paths. And I was kind of like in the old Western movies where I surrendered. I just lifted my hands. I said, okay, God, I'll go. So in January 19, the president came up to give my evaluation. And I shared my heart that morning and said, Steve, God's called me on the bank, but I want to give you all a year. They've been so good to me. And so December of 2019, I ventured out and to a new trail back to my entrepreneurial ways. And the big awards got shown. One was the ranch that we live on with my wife's parents to help them. Another one was my encouragement ministry that I had at the bank for many years. I call it a marketplace ministry. And then another was real estate, which I've done for 40-some years and nearly left. So about March or April, people started calling Michelle. And I guess they were missing me coaching from the bank. I thought I was sitting there going, I need a process. And I had an aha moment. I had first seen Zig Ziglar in 1998 in downtown Oklahoma City at a Peter Lowe seminar. And I'd heard of Zig, but I'd never had heard him speak. Zig was the first speaker that morning, and he spoke for nearly 2 hours. I couldn't believe it was over. I thought it'd been 15 minutes. And I went and bought a set of his tapes. I wore those out. And here it is, all these years later. I'm still believing the philosophies of the Ziglars. And I adopted that for my life. And so about that time, a day or two later, I got an email from Tom Ziglar. It said, "You ever thought about being a Ziglar coach?" And I thought, there it is. So I called or actually I got on the webinar. He said, call Angie Krellin at our corporation if you have interest. And I did an interview with Angie for about an hour, saw that I was a fit. So I signed up in April of 2020 to go through the coaching. And here we are, 2023. It's one of the greatest decisions I ever made. And matter of fact, that's how I met you, Michelle.
Yes.
Through the Ziglar Corporation.
Oh my goodness, yes. And I'm so grateful for that too. You talking about Zig, there's a lot of similarities between the two of you that I see. For one, you both have a little bit of an accent, just a little bit.
This is a small one.
But I love it. And I know everybody who meets you loves your accent too. But all kidding aside, the other thing though is that you have a passion for people and for God. And you live your life trying to shine your light and just be all that you were created to be. So that's one of the other reasons why I just love being around you, Jackie, and really excited to get to work with you. Not even just through Ziglar, but through the books and the things that you're doing. It's just been such a great experience. And I've learned a lot from you too. You're very, you keep things simple, but profound, in everything that you do. There's one mission, and that's usually just to glorify God. But in everything else you do with just such a great attitude. So I just want to say that about you.
Thank you.
You're so welcome. So not only though, did you get involved with Ziglar, because there are a lot of incredible programs. And by the way, just go to Ziglar.com to learn more about their certification programs for speaking, training, coaching, all of that. But you got involved at first with the coach. Was it first with Coach Leader? Talk about all the different levels of coaching you've been certified on at Ziglar.
Oh, I'd be honored to. I first signed up for the Choose to Win program, the book that Tom had written. People, we need to learn how to win in life today. And that's great training. And I've had some marvelous transformations through that coaching with a lot of success stories there since I've started becoming a coach. Then See at the Top, which that's the book that changed it all for Zig, right? And we got certified in that. And about that time, they came up with a Ziglar Master Coach program, and about it, you get at least 6 months, and I think it took me a little over a year. Became a Ziglar Master Coach, and I've always enjoyed speaking, but I've never really had been through any official speaking programs. So this past year, I went through the Ziglar Speakers Institute with Jason Friend and Tom Ziglar. It's one of the greatest things I ever did. And that starts my speaking now as well. And then there's called Coach Leadership Coaching. There's another book that Tom Ziglar wrote called Disruptive Times, 10 Virtues of Leadership. And with
That's a good book.
Yeah, it's an awesome book, by the way. If you haven't had a chance to pick it up, get a copy. And, being a leader and managing a bank, and, I tease people, Michelle, I said, my life has literally gone from the pig pen to the ink pen. And I said, what that means is I grew up on a small hog and dairy farm, and I'm on the board of director of a bank today. That's literally how my life has gone. My life's been one change after the other. But I've learned in my life that the previous experience always has helped me for the next phase. And that's where I'm at today in my life. So I became certified in the Coach Leadership Coaching. And then I had an opportunity to go through this, become a Ziglar Legacy Coach, and had an opportunity to go through that last year. So every certification to the Ziglar Corporation is amazing. I highly recommend going through this process if that's where God's calling you. And it's just been a phenomenal experience. So I'm excited about all of those certifications, and I'm coaching in every one of them, speaking. Those are being utilized. And then, anyway, I'm just so grateful for this journey that God has me on.
Well, and I love the fact that, and by the way, from the pig pen to the ink pen, is that what you said?
Yeah.
I love that. Because, I just think everyone it's a great visual, right?
Yeah.
But you have so much executive leadership experience leading a bank, and, doing your marketplace ministry while you were there with coaching. So it is just a natural fit because, all of the Ziglar programs are value-based but they're concrete things that every leader really needs. So I'm not to put you on the spot, but what would you say if somebody was listening and they're a business owner or a leader? What are some things or some tips that you would give them, like as if you were sitting there coaching with them right now, things to help them really focus in on being the best leader for this coming year?
Absolutely. We need to create as leaders what I call a growth environment atmosphere. And I think our marketplace is determining that today. I think that's where we're at. That's why I love the coach leadership coaching program that Tom Ziglar came up with, because that's exactly how I led the bank. It was building others. It was pouring into their life, and actually caring about people. And when you look at the 10 virtues of the coach leadership coaching program, don't you want your leaders to be kind? Don't you want them to have lead with a warrior spine? And just think about all the virtues that book teaches in leadership. And then as a top performer, as you see those coming up, you pour into them, you walk along beside them. I think one of the greatest things that a coach leadership coach does, he asks, he doesn't tell, what do you think, Michelle? And we grow together. And I really feel like businesses to succeed in the future will need to adopt this policy. And we're seeing great results with the coaching. It works.
It does. And it's so needed. I mean, everybody, no matter who you are, what level you're at, we all need a mentor, a coach, somebody to either help us to see something we don't see, or maybe give us a little that confidence that it's as they say, lonely at the top. So it's nice to have somebody to bounce ideas off of and all. So I love that. Well, I want to shift gears a little bit because you have so much information through the years that things that you've learned through Ziglar, of course, and you're taking all of these experiences and you're writing a book. So Can we talk about your book?
Oh, I'd love to talk about the book. You're a big part of the book.
Well, tell us about your book. Tell us what it's about.
So there's a book that God put on my heart about 7 years ago, Michelle. And it's what I went through when I was in my 20s. I grew up on the farm and got all those experiences. And when I was a young man, I went to work for a man named Paul Howard, selling real estate acreages. I ended up marrying his oldest daughter, so I married the boss's daughter. I was almost 20, and Paula was almost 18. We got married, a couple of kids. Bought my first 160 acres of land when I was 20 years old, and Paula was 18. And we developed acreages. We'd buy from the farmer, had a great program, put it into 5-acre tracts. We would tote the note, and it allowed people that were maybe renting an apartment or in a mobile home park to actually own real estate. Had a great program. The oil boom was going on here in the 1980s, and the bottom literally went out. The best I can tell, Paul and I owed close to $2 million at high interest rates in my mid-20s. And the book's faith-based. The name of the book is A Place Called Through. See, we all go through things in life, Michelle. But I also saw God in all of this. And you'll find out in the book that there was a turning point that went back to my days in the dairy barn. I wanted to quit. And I was 14. Imagine a little 13, 14-year-old boy driving a mile at 3:30 in the morning down a dirt road to his grandma's farm, and then walking in the dark a half a mile south to get up to 40 head of Holstein cows, okay? And it's cold, it's wet. You don't get a day off because of the weather. They have to be milked. Well, this was a cold February day. Our facilities weren't great. a heifer is a young cow that's newly, she's brand new. She's a rookie, right? And they're usually in the back of the lot. The pros or the cows that get milked all the time are in the front. I was about halfway done. Heifer knocked the gate down and got out. Well, I thought this is no problem. I quit. Until I drove back the mile and Dad looked down at his watch at our hog farm and he knew I was done too early. He said, "You're done a little quick, aren't you?" I said, "Yeah, Dad, I'm done as I'm going to be." And he said, "What do you mean?" I said, "Well, I quit." He said, "Oh, really?" but he was nice. He didn't want to lose his milker, right?
Right.
Here's what Dad told me, Michelle, on that mile back to the dairy barn. He said, "Jackie, that's not an option. Quitting's not an option." He said, "The cavalry's not coming." He said, "Where is it?" He said, "The cows have to be milk." I said, "Yes, sir." So we went back and got them all back in. He figured out the ones I'd milked and the ones I hadn't. And guess what, Michelle? At 3:30 the next morning, at 13 or 14 years old, I learned that quitting was not an option. Mm. That story, and you'll read it in the book, was a turning point. I had bankruptcy papers in my hands, and I won't give it away. But that story had a great impact. You see, when we go through things in life, sometimes it would be easy to hit the easy button, but that's not an option. And so this is a faith-based book about a young entrepreneur that saw the whole world falling apart, but by faith just showed up every day. And
one sec.
And one thing leads to another. And so there's a place called Through. And the name of that book was actually came, I struggled with trying to name the book, but it finally came in January of 2022, last year, Michelle. And I believe I shared that story with you, but story from the bank, it'll be in the book. And God told me there's a place called Through, and there really is. And so I'm excited about the book. We're real close, as you well know. Excited to get it out and let people read the story. And I did it for my kids, my grandkids. And maybe it might be somebody's survival guide. I don't know. Mm. It'll just touch one. It was worth every effort that's been put into this journey. And it's been an amazing journey getting this book out of my head on paper.
Yes. And I know we all can't wait for it to come out. And you have so many, you have stories, but they're also so realistic that like, you don't have to grow up on a farm to relate to the stories, right? I mean, we've all had a situation in our life where we wanted to give up. What a wonderful father you had to not let you.
Yeah, I'm really grateful. The life lessons. See, I didn't realize at the time, but what I was learning was going to be preparing me for what was ahead. And I think that's the thing, that when you're going through something, the whole world has just come through the pandemic. Mm-hmm. All of us. You can't miss a one. Mm-hmm. And so, some are still going through, some have come through. And about the time you get through one, well, maybe there's another hill you got to climb. But through each place, you're probably not the person you were when you started. There's a song that I enjoy. It's called Scars by I Am They. Go back and listen to the words of that song. It says, "Waking up to a new sunrise and looking back from the other side. Deepest water and darkest pain, I wouldn't trade it for anything." You see, it's our scars that lead to our Savior's scars. And through everything that we go through, just remember there'll be somebody that comes across your path once you get through it. And they want to hear your story. I have a friend of mine, he said, "You listen to those who've earned the right to speak." And when you come through something, and that's the only thing, Michelle, that I can come up with, that when we go through something, it's so we might help others that are coming behind us.
I could not agree with you more. I could not agree. And I love the title, A Place Called Through, and yes. How relevant is it, like you just said, going through the pandemic and going through even, and you and I've talked offline before, it's sometimes I'm a big believer, sometimes books get delayed for a reason, because you're going through, it could be something really great. It could be something really tragic. It could be something that keeps you distracted, but going through it is part of the journey. And it always happens at the right time. And so I love it. And you and I share that belief that, our stories do, that's how we inspire other people. It's, that's how we shine through our stories, right? And when we shine, we're merely just reflecting the light of the sun. So right. It's beautiful. Well, I know I could talk to you all day, but I want to wrap it up. But what is next for you? So actually, let me put it this way. We call the show the Power of Authority Spotlight because we do want to shine the light on people that are really using and leveraging their authority, but for good, right? They're doing it to make a big impact in the world. So with this book, with your coaching, with your speaking, what do you see coming in your future over the next 12, 24 months?
Yeah, I'm glad you asked, Michelle. I'd just like to say if I can ever help you in any way, my speaking started to take off. God's called me to be an encourager. That's why I took the title. And actually, I got that from Truett Cathy's book, Eat More Chicken. He said, if you're going to be a CEO, you might as well be a chief encouragement officer. So I'll just take that title.
I love it.
And it's funny now, people go, there he is. There's a chief encouragement officer, Yep. I love that. And so however I can be of help, I speak to businesses, this is a faith-based book as well, but it's also about business, about how you become a Christian business leader and you lead by integrity when you want to give up. And there's a story in there that I'll share that, see, if I would have filed bankruptcy, everybody I sold land to would have lost. I couldn't live with that. If it's just on me, that's different. But I had other people's property at stake. And then, like I said, you'll read the rest of the story in the book. But so going forward, coaching on executive level, coaching one-on-one with small business owners, the book, plan to do an Audible as well. I think that's really helpful for a business leader to be able to listen to the book and whatever opportunities that might be available that I can help you, please reach out. And I would be very interested in visiting with you about where you're at and what place you might be going through or getting ready to go through. We just never know.
So I know your website is jdlisten.com.
Yeah, it looks like listen, but my name's pronounced listen. So jdlisten.com.
And then what's another way they could get a hold of you? Do you want to share an email?
Yes, sure. And you can reach out at Jackie@jdliston.com. And I have a lot of fun with my name because it looks like listen. They ask, do you listen very well? I say, no, just ask my wife, Paula, 41 years. No, I'm teasing. I'm working on being an active listener. I really am. So.
Aren't we all?
Oh, yeah. Oh, I got a lot of ways to go, but I'm better.
Well, I do believe this is just the beginning for you. You've done so many amazing things in your life, but this is, I think, going to be the best season of your life. And I'm so grateful to be playing a tiny part in that and just getting to watch you shine, Jackie. So thank you for that.
Michelle, thank you. And I just can't wait to see the amazing things that we have ahead as we help others in this journey of life. And just glad to be a part of this great team and as we're in a life-changing business. So
absolutely. All right, everyone, that is it for the Power of Authority Spotlight. Be sure to go to JD that's LISTEN.com, or email Jackie at jdlisten.com. And just remember, whatever you're going through, whatever obstacles have come in your way, you're not alone. There is a place called Through, which is Jackie's book that will be coming out soon. And just know that there is always light on the other side of the tunnel. We'll see you next time. Thanks so much for listening to the Power of Authority Spotlight. If you are a successful founder, entrepreneur, business owner, or leader that's getting results and making a difference, and you'd like to be on this program, please visit performancepublishinggroup.com/podcast to apply. That's performancepublishinggroup.com/podcast. Also, if you got something out of this interview, please share this episode. Just do a quick screenshot with your phone and text it to a friend or post it on the socials. If you know someone that would be a great guest, tag them on social media to let them know about the show and include the hashtag #ThePowerOfAuthoritySpotlight. I love seeing your posts and guest suggestions. We are regularly putting out new episodes and content, so make sure you don't miss any episodes by subscribing. Your thumbs up, ratings, and reviews go a long way to help promote the show and mean a lot to me and my team. Want to know more? Go to our websites, performancepublishinggroup.com or michelleprince.com, and follow me on LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram. Thanks so much for listening, and we'll see you next time.